This is Sangy Davis. It's time for the lion to Ika. For unity is strength. Let us come together, my brethren and sisters, and forward to the motherland. Enough love. And this is the lion's voice. Ja Rastafari.
I'm Nana Farika. The time has come for the lioness to tell her story from her viewpoint and tell the world who Queen Omega is. This is the lion's voice.
Government is trapping the system.
Well, I mean, I feel like Rastafari is such a mystic liberty, you know,
Yes.
and experience. I feel like I born a Rasta. It's just like how if you have children, I'm a mother of 5, you know.
Yes,
The children don't change from them born, don't it?
Yes, it's true. Yes.
The spirit is there from them born. So
Yes.
my spirit was Rastafari from it born, you know. Well, since it's Empressman in Earth Strong month, I would say the characteristics of these great leaders, these great divine energies, are very they can give us a lot, can shine the light before us, you know. And Empress Menen herself was a great revolutionary. She was also on the front line, you know, doing things like health care, you know, within the Italian invasion. So whatever it takes to work and defend and be a part of the change and the revolution, she was that. She was also very entrepreneurial, you know, so that creative energy and being able to make things work from I own standpoint. That was her spirit, you know, that was a trait that we need to keep, the entrepreneurial spirit. Also, she was very much in terms of the caring agenda, you know, those who are less fortunate than I and myself, you know, so that was very big example. You know, she also started care homes, you know, care centers for youth
Yes.
across the
Yes.
country. She was very much also in terms of the church, you know, so that spiritual understanding of the spiritual importance of keeping families grounded. So those traits and just being a hard worker and also just having that Solomonic way of being a woman, you know, and there's not even a recipe for it. You just know it as a woman, you know. They love, you know. I was just here and some women were here eating, you know, because it's Women's Month, and just reminiscing that, you know, look how women have come so far. One time you couldn't even vote as a woman, and you know, all of these enslavements. You know, I think it's because the power of a woman is so intimidating
Yes.
because connection with creation, you know, to born the human race out of your very physical is a very awesome thing, you know.
Yeah, man.
It's something that is embraced, you know, and from there's the humility of the woman and willing to work, you know, because it have to be that unity, and so that balance always, which is majesty and Empress men have showed in their very being, is the last word I would like to say. That it's all about families, strong families. Let us elevate them. Let's try and aspire where we have weaknesses in I own family, to where we have wounds and past relationships within the family. Try heal them.
Yeah.
Bronkus, who's determined father passed away, and he just was about to reconnect after a difficult, you know. So these are the lessons, life lessons we learn. Don't leave it till tomorrow.
Yeah, man.
Patch up the family, patch up the thing, live for the family, and make it be that joins the families together as a joy and inspiration. So, well, I think one thing that's different then compared to now is Herb was a very much a connection to the
Yes.
higher level reasoning, you know.
Yes.
And Herb camps was a place where you sit and you hear reasoning, you know.
Yes.
And them time there was a deep time of Bible reading and just moving amongst ones, you know, at your age, ones who are a little older, who are really presenting different, you know, overstandings of what is
Yeah.
really history and where this whole thing is coming from. And it started to make sense. There were a few missing pieces, like I just couldn't really get a reconciliation within the church You know, that was something that for until deeper into adulthood, you know, and then of course I met my Kingman Chakula, and you know, we really started gravitating more towards the Orthodox Church because His Majesty is Orthodox, you know, and in Bill Olipa Orthodox Church even gifted the one here in Jamaica. So it was an obvious thing then that would be something to embrace, you know. I had never really, through all the time of 12th tribe influence, Naya Bingi, I never really so-called join one of those. The full respect was there, and you would attend the ceremonies and give thanks for the heretical order, you know. But somehow just never felt like it was something to move within the leadership or the practice. You know, embracing all of it still and giving thanks because, you know, as I will maybe explore further in terms of the whole respect for like 12 tribe and how international they have taken the faith and the movement, you know, and observing that in practice. But I, as an individual, it was really through the Orthodox Church to really get into that deeper sense of even Christianity and where this root lies, you know, and how deep the line of Solomon and how it can be explained. It all started to make a little more sense. Linking up with Chakula, that time we had started a band called Roots Vibe International. So he started as a drummer, eventually became the guitarist, you know. We both are lead vocalists. He writes, I write, you know, and so it kind of became a duo. And so we went out as a king and queen duo, which was unheard of. First of all, it was during that time when dancehall was really taking over, coming like really a joke business, you know, and you know, the whole time something. And, you know, aside from, so where we used to play was mostly at Rastafari celebration because, you know, then now everybody want the real roots rock reggae, you know, so Black Love, Adwa, Ethiopian Christmas, you know, Ethiopian New Year, you know, the visit of His Majesty. You know, so all of those very important dates, calendar dates, became where Chakula. So we became known in the industry as that kind of underground music that was spitting out conscious messaging and very, you know, unapologetic and out there. So, you know, going on. Sometimes we play to pure table and cheer if that is the must, but we're going to play, you know. And eventually, over time, getting to open for shows, getting soon before you know it was on reggae bash. Ira FM used to love give it stage all the while, you know. Reggae Some Fest was really, I would say, the ultimate in where our little Roots Vibe band, you know, get invited to play on Reggae Sunsplash, and that was where we then got seen by a Spanish promoter, Vinilo, who sponsoring some festivals, government-sponsored festivals, you know, and they brought Chakula as a headline show. So a mindset, and I believe just like how you see how TikTok have a orchestrated, systematic, very focused on intentional campaign on gender and how to degenderize, you know, beyond the human race, you know. The same way there's an intentional shift, you know, to lower level frequency, you know, and we know that, and it's like very difficult because musicians need to eat, so they're going to go where, you know, where the food is and what plays, you know, which is vulgarity for the most part, and you know, so everyone we're going to always love the dancehall beat because it is African and we love it, and that must be embraced and glorified. But we can't sit here and glorify dirty lyrics. We can't do it. Me's a mother. I have 7 grandchildren. Me not do that. Me not care who you be. You could have said me old fashioned, me highfalutin, anything you want to call it. Me I stand up for that one day. Well, I would say even more than my academic acclaim, so-called, you know, what I'm really, that my main pride, because I feel like human race, your main purpose is to multiply. And dead and gone, and all you have left is your children to carry on the work, you know. So my great pride is to have youths who are carry forward Rastafari. And there may be a little dropping of the ball here, there, we're moving through Babylon, but all intents and purposes, we have a Rastafari family. Rastafari works, I live Rastafari, liberty. And we not, it's just natural and we are go through. And who we can help along the way, that we are different, you know. So
Yes.
I make a very special effort to call out for the queens and the
Yes.
young queens because we know they have music, great music, just like the kingdom, but sometimes to balance the motherhood and the child rearing with it's
Yes.
very difficult. It's very
Very
difficult,
difficult.
you know. So you have to kind of give an extra little mileage for the queens if you want to give them the stage and the balance that is
Yeah, man.
in song.
Happening is
Yeah,
just
man, we have to keep it positive. You know,
Yes.
I can't go down with the critical and the yeah,
No.
always something for be wrong and whatever. We have to just block out that and move towards the alternative. Stop
Yes.
complaining, stop looking on the negative. Yeah, it's there. We can point it out, yes, we can know it, but we can't waste energy. The time is short. Time
No.
is short.
Time
I
is
feel
short.
very like urgent. Me have an
Yeah, man.
urgent spirit. Give thanks to my energy. Me have an urgent spirit left.
Yeah, man.
Anyone who deal with real things and move forward, you could is that we are defend. So two experiences I would have loved share with them because it's semi-humorous, you know, still at the same time. Because as you say, so Andrews where I was developing that just love and like the liberty of Rastafari even before me start dread, you know. Um, we are draw Ethiopia, you read Ethiopia, African countries, history, Pan-African thing, and then to be called within your professional work to be doing an international, paying me to be in Africa. I was
Yes.
like, okay, all right, this has got to be like this is next level, you know.
Yes.
But it was, I mean, it show you how much stereotype we have about Africa. When I went to touch down in like Tanzania, cold, like a certain place in Tanzania, freezing. I
Yes.
never had that it's just like if you like Africa near the equator, you feel like it everywhere hot, you know.
Yes. Yes.
And this is our darkness, we don't really know the diversity of
Yes.
Africa really.
Yes.
So that was, one of the experiences. But Tanzania was, wow. I mean, I was thrown in a deep end to be in a very high level post because I remember it's UNICEF. UNICEF works with government all over the
Yes.
world. So you're
Yes.
working with governments. You're there. You're being paid to support the government, basically. So I never take it no joke way. And I make sure that because I was feeling so young in it, and Jamaica was such a small prototype that I think there was visions there and thing, but this now had to be applied to big scale.
Yes.
I dealing with like real life problems like malaria for how
Yes.
youth across the country, and UNICEF is looking to you to say how you can do behavior change programs on this to save lives and these things. So one thing I really learned in life is how important partnership is, and
Yes.
get ones who, if any gap that you have personally, you have to engage with ones who can do the work.
Yes.
So they must know that we know and we see it, and
Yeah.
call it out. Because Rastafari for Jamaica is a very important part of its development fiber. So don't come in a contradictory way and now come abuse the very cultural vein that is the spiritual connection of the country and has so much good example. Don't forsake the people. So there's a protection aspect that needs to be carried forward, and the RMO is an umbrella organization. That is why I think it's so important, because 14 mansions and organizations have come together, signed a document about this is what we believe is the mission and what we're going forward with. We must contribute to that.
Of course. Of course.
With all the shortcomings and whatever is needed to straighten up or whatever, be part of it, the straightening up. Be part of the straightening up. That's all I would say.
Well, lion voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion voice, got to show the people them the light. Lion voice.
Jano, I'm so hungry, bro. I haven't eaten all day. Like, my head started to hurt me too. Like, what now could I eat right now?
What about a city samosa? So come now and get your samosa, a fusion of Indian, Jamaican and African culture. City samosas, the best samosas in the city.
Well, great is the Almighty, and greatly to be praised in the city of Haile Selassie I, the mountain of His holiness.
Yeah, from Cape to Cairo, from Timbuktu to the Nile, you know, the whole entire continent.
Beautiful for situation, the joy of the whole earth is Mount Zion, from Accra to Addis Ababa.
Yes, it's a beautiful continent, better control, Mama Africa.
Very beautiful.
From Cape to Cairo, from Timbuktu to the Nile, I smile for Mama.
I hear you call Mama Africa. Been so long since I see Mama. Father of Africa set the law. The lion come and dismantle Babylon flaw. We gonna use solar energy, use sanitation to build the ecology. We utilizing green technology. We hailing Haile Selassie first.
What do you have to tell the people about Ras Tafari?
Light to the world. The king of kings and the conquering line of the tribe of Judah. And left himself. Where's rightful ruler? Hey yo! Yeah. Hail them high, hail the black king on the 23rd of July. So tell them guy who praise God up in the sky, it's a lie. The Almighty living on your night. From ancient time them a try. Them Romans know them just open them suit and ties. Criminals ain't got no alibi, they stole my people. Then them come without them genocide.
Are you talking about slavery?
Them couldn't kill. The lion will come conquer Judah tribe. Go through tribulation, and I strive, see sufferation, and I still rise. That's why we tell them in America, live Rastafari in every ghetto area. We come to tell them in a Toronto, straight at
Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Glory and honor in the name of His chosen Queen, Empress Waziri Menem. My name is Kwasi Bansu, aka the Chasmach Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Pan-African Happy Man, creative industry attorney. I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an actionist, and right now I am the host of Lion Talk. Welcome to Lion Talk and welcome to the Lion Voice Network, where the lionesses are telling their own story. It is Women's History Month and we have a very special guest today. I'm very much looking forward. This has been in the planning for some time. Very busy guest. as many of our guests are. So we feel very honored to get this exclusive reasoning. This is someone that I've been working with. I've known her daughter long time to big up. And, you know, she is so exemplary when it comes on to what we represent on this channel in regard to the Rastafari family and the family values that we all must strive to, as exemplified by His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I. Before we bring her forward, let me just take time and big up the Lion Pride worldwide. If this is your first time here, give thanks. We are now 30,000 plus strong because of the item attention, and this is a proof of concept. You know, I knew when I started this the power of Rastafari, but it's very humbling to see the response globally. And I just want to say that we are, elated that we could become the fastest growing Rastafari platform on the planet. Big up the Lion Pride on Patreon. We have 30 Fire Angels who are now supporting the platform financially, the economic engine, helping us to continue to improve the content and the quality. Big up the Abund Lion Pride. As you can see, that's also growing. Those who are giving a one-time attribution of over $70, big up on yourself. Big up all of the Action Lion Pride, those who like, who comment, who share, who continue to push out the sound, again making us the fastest growing platform on the planet. Big up the Watch and Peep too. Those who watch and don't do anything, we still give thanks. You're contributing. The peepers who come with the bad mind and the grudgeful and all of them, we big up them too, because Rastafari vibration is positive. So big up. If you see I sipping during the reasoning, this is Ramia King Design, Raslidge, or Rastafari Business, one of our first sponsors. Also big up Wally King's Entertainment, Ras Woolde, CMOS Life, and Graphics and Design, our other sponsor. If you have a Rastafari business and you would like to also become part of the family and grow with us, Rastafari Independent Non-Aligned Media, reach out. We're looking forward. All right. Housekeeping out of the way. My guest today, as I said, is someone who has worked extensively, multiple international agencies, home and abroad. She has been defining her works. She's also a mother. She's also musically inclined. We'll talk about the music part as well. As I said, exemplary when it comes on to Rastafari. I met her daughter and I was so impressed with her daughter. Her daughter you may know as Kalissa. I was so impressed with her demeanor and how she composed herself. And then when I met the mother, it all made sense. Also big up Kes Nandi, who I always, run into from time to time, big up. But this is where the root comes from, and we'll also have to reason with our king man too. But I admire this family, again, for what they represent as a Rastafari family. They've opened their space to the community. Skyline Levels has now become one of the premier places where we have events. We had a showcase there for the Jamaica Music Conference. So from that time to this time, this family has been representing. But now we are going to talk to the matriarch of the family. So help I to welcome Dr. Kerida McDonald. Greetings.
Rastafari greetings, Brother Kwazi. And to the Rastafari family, at home and abroad, in the name of His Imperial Majesty and Queen Empress Menen, on this special month we call Empress Menen month and so-called Women's Month, but that are every day, creation,
Truly, truly. So, as customary here, we ask our guests to step into our iretical time machine and to take us to the moment of your birth. You know, set the scene for us. We want to know your origin story, because you are one of our great Rastafari matriarchs. You know, where were you born? What parish? What was life like growing up? You know, just set the scene.
Well, give thanks for life, first of all. And the life has been a very rewarding life. It feel long so far, but short said way, you know. But born to two very, I would say, out of the box individuals, you know. My mother, the matriarch of the family, you know, she's actually a pediatric doctor who traveled on a banana boat to Jamaica, you know.
Okay.
And that time was very revolutionary, you know, had a different way of viewing medicine. And so she was coming to the tropics, you know, she was very interested in research about malnourished children, you know, because she felt that that there was a need for beyond just nutrition to really assist with brain development. And so her research was here in the basically the ghettos of Kingston was where she did her research. And she met my father, you know, A.D. Scott, well-known Jamaican who has established many firsts in Jamaica. First, the National Stadium. You know, he's a man who was a civil engineer.
Okay.
Going forward, you know, he was one of 5 children and the only boy. So in those times, is only the boy get educated, really.
Okay.
And he was the first at McGill University in Canada.
Okay.
Studied civil engineering, and so came back with those skills of, you know, big construction and knowing systems and those things. So he was contracted to build a national airport. He built the national stadium.
Oh, wow.
Commonwealth Games. You know, he's a man who has done much for the first so-called skyscraper, which is in Kingston Hotel, maybe 10 stories high. But and he's a visionary, you know. He was an artist, you know. Yes. And so his love for art overcame any other thing, you know. But essentially, the man was a Pan-Africanist, you know. He's a man who was very involved and used art as a means of awareness raising, of networking, of connecting with Africa. You know, he built an octagonal shaped international art center, and so much of my youth was through art and with artists, and even introduction to Rastafari actually was through a lot of art being brought to, you know, Olympia International Art Center, which was like a buzzing place in the 70s, you know, where you would have artists come from Ghana, Nigeria, Brazil, Singapore, and it was a cultural place also where drumming and there was a connection with the Edna Manley School of Music and Performing Arts. And so, you know, the place always had some kind of event, and enough Rastafari ones, you know, bringing their art and craft to be sold or to be exhibited. You know, there was pottery. So that was the family I grew up into. And really, it was an uptown family, but a very frugal family, because persons who were humanitarians, basically, and believed in just frugal living and just living to service the community and to take humanity to high heights. Very visionary. My old man worked on an art exhibition for anti-apartheid and wrote music. So that was the kind of influence that I was born into. Very radical.
Yes.
But it was kind of ironic at the said time, because living in Jamaica at that time, Rastafari was as it continues to be, but in that time it was more contentious, you know, for one to really sight up and move in that direction. So the family, you know, my old man, more probably from a protectionist point of view, although he was the one that, you know, he was a man who wear the pure dashiki, and, you know, even when him going to a cocktail and the who's who and Governor General, you know, he's still the man with the dashiki on and just do him own thing, you know, very political. So, but yeah, that was my childhood, was in a lot of outdoor, you know, like up in the hills, you know, going through learn how to make fire and them things.
Yes, yes. So just to be clear, your parents were not Rastafari.
No, but my father did have a
Pan-Africanist, yes.
Pan-Africanist, love God.
It sounds like my father, because my father's like that to this day. Daishiki would never put on a suit.
Absolutely.
He must put on him African no matter what settings. And he was a Pan-Africanist, but he's not Rastafari. So, I definitely understand where the eye is coming from. So did the eye get a lot of pushback when you embrace Rastafari?
Yeah, a lot of pushback, and as I said, probably more from fear, of how the society would be a obstacle in terms of pushing forward on development or things that you can contribute in terms of your purpose in life. So I don't wrong him for it, but at the same time, it drove me further into Rastafari, because you move where the family is going to accept you.
Yes, yes.
And, you cook your food, you find it dash way out the window because someone there cook, where, how that go. So, a whole lot of stress, to be honest, a whole lot of stress and premense, and premense. So by 17, when I was leaving high school, anybody who know Akka, pure Akka, I was Akka, Goldilocks, Dundos, Gold Soul,
Okay. What high school did you go to?
Andrews.
Andrews, okay.
I was an Andrews girl, one of those girls who had the chucky boots and the long skirt and the big afro. So by the time of graduation, it was closed curtains. It was just all the way Rastafari music. That was when I really picked up the music.
Yes, and in Jamaica, there is a color consciousness. There's that divide between light skin, dark skin. What made was it your father that made you gravitate to your African identity more and want to express it in the Afro even before you had locks? Saying you had an Afro. So what was it, your father, or what was within you that made you say, I want to gravitate to my African side? Because often children can even go the opposite of what their parents are doing.
Well, I feel like Rastafari is such a mystic levity, and experience. I feel like I born a Rasta. It's just like how if you have children, I'm a mother of 5, the children don't change from them born, don't it?
Yes, it's true.
The spirit is there from them born. So my spirit was Rastafari from it born,
Well, great is the Almighty, and greatly to be praised in the city of Haile Selassie I, the mountain of His holiness.
Yeah, from Cape to Cairo, from Timbuktu to the Nile, the whole entire continent.
Beautiful for situation, the joy of the whole earth is Mount Zion, from Accra to Addis Ababa.
Yes, it's beautiful continent, better control, mama.
Very beautiful.
From Cape to Cairo, from Timbuktu to the Nile, I smile for Mama.
I hear you call Mama Africa. Been so long since I see Mama. Father of Africa set the law. The lion come and dismantle Babylon flaw. We gonna use solar energy, use sanitation to build the ecology. We utilizing green technology. We hailing Haile Selassie first without apology. And then we build the youths them economy. We dismantle Babylon monopoly. We teach the youths them how to live properly. Tell them make sure them got the title for them property.
Yes, this beautiful continent, better control, mama. Cape to Cairo, from Timbuktu to the Nile, I smile for Mama.
I love you, Mama. Your heart never harden. I wanna turn all your slums into garden. I wanna stop all of your youths from starving. I wanna stop all of your tribes from warring. So much to say, so many feelings. We both been hurt, we both need healing. Since the League of Nations you've been appealing. You stand up against them backdoor dealing. I hear you call Mama Africa. Been so long since I see Mama. Father of Africa set the law. The lion come and dismantle Babylon flaw. Then I hear you call Mama Africa. Been so long in America. Father of Africa set the law. The lion come and dismantle Babylon flaw.
So be still, all enemies of Jah. Know that he is the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, the Lion Conqueror. And it was said of Ethiopia, the highest himself shall establish her. His Majesty was born there.
And I know that I love you so. There's no place that I'd rather go. Tired of walking through slush and snow. Repatriation, that's a must I know.